Hi everyone, thanks for watching Access Hockey MI. We are continuing our quest for spot 8.
Quest for the draft.
Exactly. So we've been through the last few weeks, we've been going through the 2022 draft prospects list. We're doing 1 through 10. So we're talking about those guys, and today we've got 3 more for you because we missed last week. So we got 3 more for you, and we're going to just get with that today. Before you keep watching, make sure you subscribe, you like this video, and that you ring the bell for notifications so you know when we have new videos up, so you can be apprised to the latest details of our hockey lives. And we'll get going.
So the first on our list is Joakim Kemell. We're going off of the NHL Central Scouting's list. So he's right winger, last weighed in at 5'9", about 176 pounds. The combine did just happen, so that will likely be a little bit different once draft time rolls around. He's currently ranked at number 2 for the European Central Scouting top list.
Yeah, so we have him actually on our list. So we've basically taken all the lists that we've seen and kind of watched the guys ourselves and put them in an order that we kind of think it might go. Of course, it's not like written in stone or anything, but we have him going at number 5. So he goes before the next 2 guys in this list. Mostly for me, it was his skating and his maturity in the game. So he was in Liiga last year, the JYP for Liiga. And with just that league, he had 39 games played and 23 points. So he is a right wing, like Rachel said, and he's very poised and patient with the puck. And that was lots of P's there.
Every video has to have one good alliteration in there.
And he was really impressive to me. He was I would say he played very Finnish, and I really like how the Finns play. And so that was something that made him stand out to me between these 3 guys that we're talking about.
Yeah, I would say that for sure, because that separates his maturity level too. And a lot of people say the hockey IQ as well. And I think that rolls into that.
I think patience rolls into the hockey IQ, not making a rash decision, turning over a puck and losing possession, but instead waiting until you've got the opportune thing, or knowing the difference between needing to push it out quick and waiting to get a goal.
Or the difference between being able to make the shot or pass it to someone else who has a better vantage point.
Yeah.
One thing that stuck out to me was his release with his shots.
For sure.
So the kid can hammer a slap shot. Just insanely strong.
And a wrister.
And
very strong.
I was getting to that.
Oh, sorry.
So his slap shot is very strong and very precise. It's not erratic. But his wrist shot is what the most impressive part is, I think, about his shots in general. He has a very quick release. So he gets the puck, cradles it, launches it. Yeah. He does not waste time deliberating what to do with it. And he's very accurate with it. So that's really cool to watch, especially considering he goes head first into these situations. Like there's a group of 4 guys and he's right in the middle of them.
Yeah.
But he can play and shoot his way out of that. It's not ideal in all situations, but his shot is very accurate and very fast, which is cool to see.
Yeah, I would say we didn't see a lot of board play. And again, that could be a little bit of a difference between European leagues and American leagues. We do a lot of board play over here, and I'm not super sure how much of that is essential, I guess, in Europe. And I don't want to speak fully to that because I'm sure he's got some board play, but where he stood out to us is that he was always looking for the loose puck to make a rush. Like he's very quick to just try and make something happen, but in a smart way, not in I'm just going to do this and no holds barred.
I'm just going to go.
I'm not thinking about it. And another thing to mention would be that the JYP in Liiga is an AHL type league over in Finland. So that's kind of a way that we like to think about it. There's so many leagues in Europe that it's kind of hard to know, okay, where are they stacking up as far as what we see in America. Like we've got the USHL, you've got college, you've got AHL, then you've got NHL. So they're kind of like AHL. They're playing with, 20 to 30-year-olds, especially on his team. There was a couple toward the 30 mark. So playing with adults, playing with men, playing with people who are grown in their game. So that's something to know too.
Yeah, his kind of going back to what Janae had said about the lack of board play, it is probably a difference between the 2 leagues, but where he kind of stood out was that open ice.
I was going to say maybe because there's more ice.
Yeah, there's a whole heck of a lot more ice, but he always did seem to what we had seen to be ready too. Even if he wasn't the one with the puck in hand, he was ready for the shot when it did come to him. So he's very alert and very aware. Yeah. And that maturity definitely, that's kind of rolls into all that. Our number 6 is Matthew Savoie. So he spent his entire last season with the WHL.
The WHL,
which is a Canadian league. He is a centerman, last weighed in at 5'9", about 170. Again, the combine could probably change that. He was ranked number 4 according to Central Scouting amongst North Americans. So that's the U.S. and Canada.
And there have been a lot. I would say he's probably one of the ones that's kind of up and down. Mm-hmm. This is our best guess. And of course, like I said, it's not written in stone, but the thing that made him go lower than Kemell was I would call it his hockey IQ. Mm-hmm. He is a very good skater. I was very impressed with his skating ability, with his acceleration, with his ability to deke and his ability to get behind the defense and, to get a lot of goals. But I would say that he was a little less, not knowledgeable in playmaking, but he was less of a playmaker than he was just I'm going to get this puck to the net and my teammates are doing whatever else.
which is evident because with the WHL, he had 90 points in 65 games. And to kind of piggyback off of what we said off of Kemell, the WHL is a major junior team. You have junior players there. You don't have 30 plus guys there. So I think that's where a lot of the disparity for pointage comes in. But he is very much like a get into it, shoot, and handle. But it worked for him. But that, and like what Janae had said, that's kind of, in our opinion, and in the rankings, he was kind of all over the place depending on which ranking list you were looking at.
If you listen to any of the Red Wings, like when Red Wings knew they were picking 8, a lot of the commentators are saying that there's no way Savoie would be as low as us picking 8th. But I'm not really sure.
We've seen him as low as 10th on some lists.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure. We're kind of getting into the guys who we might actually get with the Red Wings.
Getting to the weeds, if you will.
Yeah, and I think that something about Savoie, his shot was not like Kemell in the way that it was like Kemell in the way of his power. Mm-hmm. It's really accurate, and he's a quick shooter. Yeah, he's quick to just get the puck off his stick, and I like that in a player. I think that that's nice just to get pucks to the net. Mm-hmm. And I like to see that, not a lot of hesitation. Of course, there's the maturity that's needed to know when and where to
He's
really go
for with
it.
Handling too. Yeah. So the situations where he did find himself in, so if he had to deke out, or it was a situation where he had 3 guys on him, nowhere else to go, he was creative on what to do with it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes a little reckless, but he was able to kind of maneuver his way out of there with the puck. So it's one thing if you can kind of like throw the puck and then you're on the ground and it all goes to crap from there. Mm-hmm. But he was able to get the puck out to somebody. So even when he gets himself in a pinch like that, he did seem to be able to dig himself out of it.
Yeah, he wasn't super physical, but he does have a high compete level. All these guys do. And so that just basically means that he's, I don't think, afraid to throw a hit, but that's not his first thing. He would probably rather deke or like skate circles around the guy. It's probably what he would rather do. And of course he's on the smaller end. 5'9" is not very big. No. And except for the next guy we're going to talk about, these two guys are both pretty not small, but they're shorter than we have been seeing the Red Wings draft and that we've been seeing in the draft pool thus far, I think.
Yeah. In the last couple of seasons, it does seem like the players available have been on the bigger side of things, perhaps a little more mature, a little more experienced, but in either case, he's on the list somewhere. So we'll see what happens with Savoie. Right. Who we kind of anticipate going 7th is David Jiricek. He is a defenseman, so a little bit different position from, a right wing and center, obviously. So his
there's 3 positions on the ice.
4 if you count 4. He's 6'3", about 189. So that's actually pretty
lean for a tall
lean
guy.
Yeah, it's pretty slim. Mm-hmm. He was ranked as number 4 for NHL Central Scouting in the European, so pretty high for a defenseman. And he's currently playing, or was playing, with the Czech Republic's major, I think it was the top tier team. I'm not going to pronounce the name. He had 11 points.
Just trust us. We'll write it down.
Google it later. It's 11 points in 29 games. He did suffer an injury at the World Juniors to his knee, so that is kind of what drew him back from actually completing a full season. I believe he's got the green light to go ahead again for this coming season, so he should be okay.
Yeah, and we're not thinking it's going to hugely impact considering he's on the mend. I don't think it'll fully impact his
he had surgery back in January. So.
Yeah, so he's been recovering. He's been getting there. By the time, seasons and camps start, he should be ready for that. And that'll just be more of a push for him. Something about him, though, you hear us talk about it all the time. The bigger guys and their skating is always something that they're going to need to work on. It's very obvious with him. I would say it's obvious for him. Yeah. He's a little more hunched over when he skates. He's got a lot of leg.
Chunky skater.
Once he gets accelerating, he's not awful. He's a good skater for how big he is. But, of course, there's just that fine-tuning that needs to happen and will happen as he progresses.
The getting going. Yeah.
And so that would be one thing that was kind of like I don't know. But as a big defensive skater, it's going to be something that's worked on, even if you've arrived.
Right. And the difference, too, between defensemen and centers, like in Jiricek's defense they focus a lot more on the back checking than anything and backwards skating, which he is very good at, but the forward acceleration is a kind of a lacking point for him. He'll pick up on that. But one thing with that and with the back skating and being able to work on that back check is he does protect the puck pretty well when in the zone. He's very physical. He's got the big body, so he throws it. But he does a good job of just kind of keeping it, protecting the goaltender, but also getting it out. Mm-hmm. He did show some very good signs of, excellent passing ability and kind of seeing the ice on a wider scale.
I would say these 3 guys are excellent passers. Yeah. All these guys are like, every pass they made just seemed to be very high level,
high caliber. Yeah. So in that sense, he's very good, from coming from the opposite end of the ice and being able to see the play kind of where it needs to go and enact that and be able to get the puck to the forwards and everything. Mm-hmm. He did a good job with that.
Yeah, he did seem to have good recovery along the boards too when challenged. So that's something that's very important for a defenseman, and to be able to read the play, see where your guys are at, line changing, all that stuff. It's very important and beneficial for a defenseman to have that kind of IQ. And so I think he's pretty high up with that. And I didn't see many holes to his game. I think he needs to use his space a little better with bigger D or with guys in general. Any hockey, you can see them using their stick a lot to take away space for other the guys coming at them. Mm-hmm. And I think that doing that a little more is going to help him. And I think that if he can just there's a lot of space again in the European ice. So seeing all these guys, Savoie's not European, but the 2 Europeans on our list here come over to North America and see how that kind of impacts their game. We always talk about this. It's something that's can be quick to learn and quick to pick up on, but I'm always interested to see how that goes.
For some, it breaks them. Like if they can't adapt to it. I don't think Jiricek would have that problem.
I don't think any of these guys
aside from like his gaps and everything, being able to use his stick and things like that, you see even the smaller spaces, like if you're along the boards, lifting the stick slightly and just kind of those small minor things, which I think he has in his game, just maybe not as exaggerated right yet. So I think overall, him going 7th is not unrealistic.
And again, like I said, the Red Wings pick 8. So we're kind of getting to the guys that we think we might be able to catch. And I think
these could be feasible options for us.
I was going to say, next week we'll be talking about the 2 final in the top 10. Of course, we could go later. I mean, it's hard to know who we're going to pick and what we're going to pick. But
we're not saying this is who we're getting.
Spitballing any of these guys, if they went to 8, would be fantastic to get. And I know a lot of people don't expect Savoie to go as low as 8. Yeah. I think they don't expect him to go as low as 4, actually, in most of the stuff that I've seen.
Of these 3, who do you think would fit best if we got the chance?
I'd like Kemell a lot. Yeah. I think Kemell would be...
It's been a long time since we've had a new Finn.
And I just really like his skating. I like his puck handling. I like his shot.
He's feisty.
His shot is incredible, and I think that getting more of that would be great. But again, Eismanova says best available, so we'll see who's available at 8. And that's basically a wrap-up of these 3 guys. So yeah, we've done 1 through 7 at this point. And next week we'll talk a little bit maybe who we'll get at 8. That's kind of I feel like it's always written in stone when we say this, but it's not.
It's projected to be available roughly approximately at 8.
Yeah, and as we think about this, let us know in the comments who you would like to pick at 8. With all this stuff considered, with all the stuff that you've been reading on various sites, let us know who you think will go 8 for the Red Wings. And again, we really appreciate you guys watching our stuff. Comment, like, share, subscribe. We really appreciate it, and we will see you guys next week.